They were among those who were entered a national underwater robotics competition, a competition that was sponsored by NASA. With smarts and ingenuity, they ended up winning, beating out students from one of the country's top math and science universities, MIT. Now, 3 of those boys were undocumented, and there is now a book and a movie about them. It's called Spare Parts. Joshua Davis was the first to tell their story in Wired magazine, and earlier I asked how he learned of their success.
They sent me a press release, and the press release was full of typos and had all sorts of errors to it, and that's why I actually paid attention to it. I thought, what is this weird press release? And so I called the school, and I found out that they had sent this out across the country, and nobody had paid any attention. And I thought that that was wrong. I felt that somebody should be paying attention. And
how did these under-resourced kids manage to beat the best in the country? What was their secret weapon?
Well, it turns out, it doesn't take a lot of money to come up with great engineering solutions. In fact, sometimes a lot of money stands in the way of a great solution. These guys pulled garbage out of the garbage can, they used spare parts, and they used their ingenuity.
And 10 years after this incredible win, what are they doing today?
Well, that's the tough part. They ended up beating MIT, and the kids from MIT went on to great jobs, which is perfect. That's what we want. But the kids who placed above them, one of them is unemployed, one of them was essentially deported, one of them is a janitor, and one of them is a line cook. And most of them want to pursue robotics. And so that's not really an ideal outcome for the country and for us, as a civilization. We need to find a better way of, nurturing and encouraging that kind of talent.
It's such a surprising and unfortunate outcome. What does it say about the American dream and about what's wrong with U.S. immigration policy?
Well, I think it says a lot. It is a complex issue. These kids were born in Mexico. They came across the border as kids and are technically Mexican citizens, but have grown up in the United States. They view themselves as American. They're going to stay in the United States, and they want to contribute to America. The fact that they were able to prove their talent, I think, draws attention to an entire generation of students and young people like them. There's roughly 2 million undocumented students in the United States who are going to stay. And so the question that this project brings up, both the movie and the book, is what is the best way of bringing them into America such that we can all benefit from their passion and drive?
You first met these students when they were in their teenage years. It's been 10 years since. They're now in their late 20s. When you talk to them about the win back in the day and how their lives have turned out, do you get a sense of profound sadness from them?
No, not at all. Not at all. I get a sense of profound hope, in fact. It's the opposite. They believe in the promise of America. They believe in the American dream, and they are not giving up at all.